It's early 2020, I'm at university and I'm walking to the fridge of my student accommodation. It's 1 in the afternoon and I had just woken up. All I can think about is how good my full English breakfast is going to be. I take the sausages, the bacon, the eggs, the mushrooms, put that all in the pan, then I take the hash browns, which are like little potato things if you're not from an English-speaking country. I put those into the oven. My 1800 calorie breakfast is well on the way, and whilst it's cooking, I'm thinking about the gun I'm about to grind for in my favorite game, PlanetSide 2. This gun is everything to me. To get this gun, I need over 1,000 kills with 5 separate different weapons in order to unlock it, and I'm on the last weapon. I'm almost done, and I'm thinking that if I play an extra few hours during this next few days, I should be able to unlock it very soon. This gun was the last thing I needed to finish my character's loadout. University work doesn't even cross my mind. I just scoff down my breakfast, wash it down with a pint glass of Coke, not the zero Coke, full of sugar. Then I turn on my PC, pour myself another pint glass of Coke, and the next 4 hours goes by like a blur. During this time, reality doesn't exist. All I can think about is how accomplished I am in this game. My kill-death ratio is so good, and that play I just did, I just outplayed all of those people, and I just had to save the clip to watch it later. The fake accomplishment made me feel so good, and the only thing I stopped gaming for was to have another drink or have another snack, and I probably consume another 600 to 700 calories during that time in sugar. But then my friend texts me. He says that he's in the middle of town, which is where I live, and he asks me if I want to get lunch with him. He offers McDonald's because we're both students. It's the only thing we can comfortably afford, and I of course say yes. I go into the bathroom to get changed, and as I'm changing my top, I notice the tits that are growing on my chest from not taking care of myself, but I didn't pay too much attention to them. My mind blocked it out because that was a problem for tomorrow's Brian. I step on the scale and it says 105 kilograms, and this makes me happy because the weight made me feel safe. It eased my anxiety. I meet up with my friends, we're walking to the McDonald's and talking, but all I can think about is my usual order: a large wrap of the day meal and 5 cheeseburgers. Today, I opt for 3 cheeseburgers because I had that extra large breakfast earlier, so 5 would be too much. That's another 1,800 calories down me. I get my order, still eat that faster than all of my other friends who had half the amount of food to me, talk with my friends for a bit, and head back home. I should be doing university work now, but I don't. I get back home and I game until 2 AM. On average, at its worst, it was about 4:30 AM. I would game until I could no longer keep my eyes open, go to bed, and repeat the whole thing the next day. This was my life. The surroundings change sometimes because you have to move around a lot in university accommodation. The exact game I played changed sometimes as well. The food I ate changed sometimes, but it was always junk and in excess quantities. All I would think about is the game I'm playing, the food I'm eating, and occasionally a little sliver would come in about how my life is meaningless, but that would very quickly be blocked away by the next dopamine hit I was going to get. Fast forward to today. 4 years later. Since then, I've quit gaming, I've lost all of that weight that I was holding on to, I built my dream body, I became a successful game developer with over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and a successful Steam game, and I've also started this second online business, which is the channel you're watching now, which is now also making me good money. I don't think about how nice a pizza, chocolate bar, or a McDonald's would be right now. I also haven't really played a game for enjoyment in a long time and haven't for years. What I do think about now is the next video I'm going to post and how I can provide as much value as possible in it. I think about how I can get my clients making money on the internet and help them do that as quickly as possible. And by the way, to work with me one-to-one and get my personal help with making money on the internet, the link for that is below. I think about where in Bali I want to go to make the best connections, how I can scale my business to $50,000 a month, how I can keep my mental health in tip-top condition so that all of that can happen. These thoughts never crossed my mind in the past. Back then, it was all about the pleasure in the here and now. But nowadays, those thoughts are all I think about. It's like my consciousness, the fact I'm Brian, is the same, but the Brian that walked this earth 4 years ago at the start of 2020 may as well have been a completely different person to the one that exists now. There is pretty much zero overlap in the thoughts that younger Brian had compared to the thoughts I have now. Back then, all I could think about was about how much I loved gaming, and it was to the point where if I didn't have at least 3 to 4 hours to play my game during that day, it felt like that day was wasted. And I still get that now, except PlanetSide 2, the game I loved, has been replaced with working on my business and going to the gym. I realized yesterday just how difficult it is for me to not make a video when I'm supposed to not go to the gym when I'm supposed to. It's more difficult to not do the thing than it is to do the thing. If one of those things doesn't go to plan, I literally can't stop thinking about it. The other day, I think it was last Tuesday, I completed that day's video on time, but I forgot to press the schedule button. So then I went to bed and I woke up in the morning and realized that that video wasn't posted on time, even though I had still made it on time, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Now, if I don't do the things I'm supposed to do during the day, I can't function. I can't enjoy any other activity until those things are done. You are not the person you think you are. You can mold yourself into anybody that you want to be. Nothing exists in this world that's not for you. Everything can be for you, just not for the current you. You might have some limiting beliefs or think you're not good enough to record videos on social media. You can be. You might think you're not cut out to make money with online business. Right now you might not be, but you can be in the future. You can literally mold yourself into whoever the hell you want to be over time. The more successful I get and the more things I do, the more I realize that these cringy, corny sayings like fake it till you make it, all of those are incredibly true. The world is a mirror. If you pose in front of it with this new identity that you've created for long enough, it will conform to your wishes over time. But the trick is you have to go for long enough without going back to your old identity, without switching back what reflection you want. Because unlike a real mirror, the mirror of reality is slow. It takes time to match that pose that you've chosen. And if you keep changing your pose in the mirror before reality has a chance to make it true, it will never take on the shape you want it to be. And it's difficult because this whole time that you keep going and you're faking this new identity, your old self will be screaming at you. It will tell you it's unnatural, that it doesn't want to do it, that it's uncomfortable. Your old self won't want to do it, but you have to use your conscious brain to choose who you want to become and then fake it. Keep going and starve your old self. Your old self has to die for that new self to emerge. All those thoughts of discomfort are a good sign. It's the sign that your old self is going away and the new self is coming in to replace it. During the day-to-day, it never feels like anything is changing. All you feel is just the discomfort of trying to change your habits. But if you look back just 3 to 4 months, you'll realize just how much of your reality has changed. Every time I look back just that amount of time, I always notice massive differences in myself. The practical way to do this is using 2 things: affirmations and habits. Decide who you want to be. Decide that pose in the mirror and summarize it in a few statements. Those are your affirmations. Then once you have your affirmations, you need to figure out what habits you need to do every day to make those affirmations come true. Then you can start bending reality to your will. Every morning when you wake up, repeat those affirmations to yourself. Commit to the new habits and do them every single day. At the start, it's going to be difficult. You won't want to do it. It's going to be really uncomfortable and you might miss more days than you want to miss. But over time, it's going to become easier. You assume this new identity and slowly this reality, your affirmations start becoming your norm. You start getting comfortable with this new person that you're becoming. And when it becomes your norm, when the new habits become easy, you know it's work. Aim to progressively overload the discomfort you feel in your general life, just like you progressively overload when you add weights to your exercises at the gym. You won't be able to immediately jump in and be the exact new person that you want to be, but as long as you feel slight discomfort and you have these thoughts of this is unnatural, what am I doing, this is weird, you know when you have those thoughts that change is happening. Remember at the start of this video, I described how my thoughts changed from what they were back then to what they are now. Your thoughts are everything. They decide who you are and what you do. Your thoughts are shaped by who you are, your identity, and your identity is shaped by the habits you do every day. Therefore, your habits are everything. To get my personal one-to-one help with making money on the internet, click the link in the description. And by the way, you've probably heard that promise a million times, so to prove to you that I'm not like all the others, I'm not like all the other girls, if you don't make money with me, I will give you money. That's how confident I am in this. So book a call, talk to me, and if not, I'll see you in the next video.